So today we're going to look at the normal distribution, okay, and we're going to specifically look at how to find the probability using the table. So last week I taught you how to find a certain probability using this app called Desmos lah. Okay, so as a recap, when we do Desmos, what we do is we key in the normal distribution, the function, apa ni? Normal dist, okay, and then after that, we have teruknya penaipan saya, normal distribution, okay, and then after that we open the parameters. If we are using a standard score, then we will use 0 and 1. Okay, standard normal distribution score. This is what we are aiming for. Okay, but at the same time, we also want to have a expression. Okay, we also want to have a reference for if the normal distribution uses a different mean or a non-standardized mean lah. Okay, so I hope that last week when you were doing this, you have kind of like an idea, okay, of how the normal distribution works, especially if we are talking about this one. Okay, especially if we are talking about the standard normal distribution graph, where the mean is 0. Okay, the mean is 0, as you can see over here. Sorry, I got no mouse. Okay, and the mean is 0, and the what do you call this? The standard deviation. Okay, the standard deviation is 1. So I want you to get used to drawing this. Okay, you don't have to draw it in such a complicated manner. Usually how I will draw this is I will draw a center over here, and then after that I will draw this, and then after that I will just do like this lah. Okay, I hope that don't be lazy lah. Come on, bell curve means bell curve. Don't draw an ice cream cone. Okay, some people draw ice cream cone. I have a student even more champion. You know how he draw? He draw like that. Apa? Quadratic equation. Hello, jangan, okay? Bell curve. If you find it very difficult to do this, sebab kau punya tangan tidak pandai melenggang-lenggok, then what you do is you draw halfway here and then halfway here. Okay, pun boleh. Asal saya nampak the shape of the bell curve. Okay, so besides that, I want to also teach you a method to find probability by using this innovation which I learned from Guru Jamaliah di Tuaran. Okay, and she calls this the tab 4y method. Okay, what I would like you to do is I would like you to just copy down, or you can take a screenshot of this if you want. Okay, take a screenshot of this. This is what we call the tab 4y method, and I will use this method I will use this method a lot, especially when we are finding for probabilities. Okay, so there are two ways to use this method. The table is the same table. Okay, except that there are two ways to use this method. Number one is if you are given the value of x, okay, if you're given the value and then you want to find the probability. Kita mau cari dia punya probability diberi x. Okay, so you in the x column you write the value of x. In the z column you convert it by using the z conversion formula. I taught you this last week. Thirdly, then you sketch the standardized normal graph. And then, okay, this one, I don't want you to write using the calculator. Okay, I want you to use the standard normal distribution table, because whether you're using method 1 or method 2, you will need to use the standard normal distribution table. Kalau kamu mau juga berdegil dengan menggunakan calculator, let me tell you that the calculator can only do method 1. The calculator cannot do method 2. So why would anybody in their right mind want to waste time by learning two methods for finding the same thing? Bagus kau guna satu method saja. Okay, as I said before lah, the calculator is supposed to help you, not to become smarter than you. Okay, humans are always smarter than calculator, and that's why I always believe that if you can use the table, use the table. Don't use the calculator. Okay, the calculator is for losers. Okay, so let's begin with this method 1 first. Okay, kita diberi X and then cari probability P. Okay, please open your textbook to your workbook. Let's use a workbook lah. Okay, I will teach you this using the workbook. Okay, let's do the workbook page 70. I know that you have done this exercise, but we're going to use it anyway. Page 70 in your workbook. Okay, so you are asked to find the X, you're given the X value is normally distributed with the mean of 32 and the variance of 2.5 squared. Okay, remember this is the variance, so the standard deviation is actually 2.5. The question asks you to find the probability of X less than 28.25. So let's use the tab 4y method for this. Okay, X, Z, graph, and then the probability. Okay, so the table will be X and then Z and then the graph. Okay, and then the probability depending on which one we want lah. Okay, I'm just going to write the probability over here lah. Okay, so what is my X value? My X value is 28.25. So we put the 28.25 over here. Okay, then after that, we find the Z value. The Z value is 28.25, okay, minus 32 over 2.5. Okay, I hope that you remember how to use this formula because I have taught you this already, right? How to use the formula. Did I teach you already? Yeah, I've already taught you how to use the Z-score formula, Z conversion. Okay, because the Z conversion will tell us the nilai Z kalau dia sudah kasih selaras. Okay, this is non-standard. This is standard. We want to make sure that it is standard so that we can use the standard normal distribution table. Okay, so 28.25 minus 32 over 2.5. Can somebody give me the answer, please, for this one? Okay, negative 1.5. Okay, now, when we draw the graph, the first thing you do, okay, is draw the bell curve. Okay, then the next thing you do is place the negative 1.5 on the x-axis. Okay, now the question is, the problem is this, negative 1.5, is it on the left side or on the right side? Logic will tell you that since this is 0, negative 1.5 will be here. Okay, then you draw. Okay, then the question is, which side do we want to lorek? Okay, which side yang kita mau lorek? Then we come back to the question. The question say less. Okay, the question say less. Kalau less, okay, kalau less means you lorek the left side. Kalau more, then you lorek or you shade the right side. And this makes sense lah kan? Kalau dia kurang, sebelah kiri lah. Kalau dia sebelah kanan. Okay, so this will give you this reading. Okay, this side. Okay, so how do we use the standard normal distribution table to read this? Okay, let's take this Z value. Z equals to negative 1.5. Keep it in mind first, guys. Keep it in mind first. Okay, let's take a look at the ada banyak pemindahan ni. Okay, standard normal distribution table. Okay, standard normal distribution table, there are few things that you need to know. Number one, this column, okay, and this column semuanya adalah the Z value. Okay, these are the Z values. This one, this side over here, this is the second decimal place, and this is the third decimal place. Okay, sometimes kamu punya nilai Z, bahkan your value of Z has more than one decimal place. Tadi tu 1.5 saja, so memang senang lah. Tetapi sometimes you have 1.545. So you need 3 decimal places, okay, to find a more accurate probability. Okay. Now, the next thing is, everything in the center over here, semua yang di sini, okay, these are all probability values. Okay, these are all probability values. So this is the first thing yang kamu mesti bezakan. Okay, kalau jadual pun kau tidak pandai baca, sorry, selepas saya mengajarkan, we need to practice with the jadual lah, okay? Just like anything with admaths, everything needs practice. Not one time you see, why you understand terus. Okay, sometimes it takes a bit of practice, but you need to get this in mind. And you need to get used to, when I'm saying the words, what is the Z value? What is the probability value? You need to know where you are looking. Okay, so the Z value is the red ones, and then everything in the center here are all probability values. Okay, now once you are aware of that, okay, then we come back to the question. Just now our Z value is negative 1.5. Okay, so the reading of negative 1.5 is, you look at the Z score, okay, Z score, okay, then you look at 1.5, which is over here. Okay, this is 1.5. And since there are no more decimal places, okay, so we assume it's 1.50. Therefore, the answer is 0.0668. Okay, so because of that, my value here is 0.0668. Okay, seperti yang diberi di dalam jadual. Tapi, if you are the kind of person that always look at the answer book, you would have noticed that the workbook give you what? 0.6681. Kan? Because that's the calculator answer. That's the Desmos answer. Okay, let me go back to Desmos and show you. If I use Desmos, okay, my minimum value don't have, my maximum value is negative 1.5. Look at this. Look at the value of the, I can't zoom this. Look at the value of the probability, 0.066807. Okay, the Desmos value is obviously the most tepat lah. Okay, look at how the graph is drawn. Okay, the graph is drawn exactly like how we would draw when we were using the table just now. But okay, and this is where we differentiate between the students who are using the calculator, lazy bums, and the students who are actually using the table. Okay, if you give your answer 0.06681, macam yang diberi di dalam buku, it's very obvious that you're using the calculator. Okay, because the only answer that is given in the table, okay, look at the table. Look at the table, people. Where is the 1? 0.0668 saja. Mana itu 1? Dari mana kamu dapat itu 1? Daripada your lazy bum calculator. Therefore, I said already, if you are my student, okay, saya kena bertegas di sini lah. If you are my student, I insist, okay, that you use the table. Okay, I would actually suggest that you don't even look at the calculator. I don't know who teaches you otherwise, okay, but I am very traditional, I'm very old school, and I always believe that the humans are smarter than calculators. Okay, so if you want to use calculator, fine, okay, but kamu tengoklah nanti masa exam. Ini adalah ugutan, okay. 0.0668 is the value given in a table, and that is the only answer I will accept. If you give me 0.06681, bravo, you know how to use the calculator correctly. Markah kosong, gitu saya akan bagi. So 0.0668 will be the answer. Okay, now the big problem now is, what happens kalau kamu kena melakar at different places? So please take down these notes. Okay, now if let's say your graph, okay, if your graph is like this, kalau kamu melakar, okay, and you find that the place where kamu lakar is like this atau begini, okay, this one is baca terus, read from table directly. There is no extra calculation. Okay, if your graph, if this section di sini kan, bila kamu lakar, kamu dapat begini, kamu baca terus daripada jadual. You just read directly from the table. Okay? Now, situation number 1 is that. Situation number 2 is, if let's say bila kamu lakar graph, you get these two situations. Oh dear, so ugly. Okay, you get these two situations. You have this line over here, but this side pula yang kamu lakar. Atau you get the line over here, but this side pula yang kamu lakar. So there is an extra calculation involved over here, because kalau kamu tengok ini kan, this probability is more than 0.5. If you take a look at the probability distribution table, okay, if you take a probability distribution table, the biggest probability there is 0.5. There's nothing bigger than 0.5. Okay, that's why you need to do an extra calculation. This is something fine. Ini I will give you lah. This is something that the calculator does faster. Okay, but as I said lah, if you use the table kan, you are smarter. So you choose. You want to be faster or smarter? Gitu. Okay, next. If this is the kind of graph that you're drawing, okay, you need to have one extra step, which is 1 minus the reading from the table. Okay, 1 minus the reading from the table. Let's take a look at, okay, let's take a look at question number 4. Okay, I'm going to use question number 4 in your workbook, okay, to explain this. All right, the question is, do you guys have question number 4? Can I? Okay, the question is, X is normally distributed with a mean of 60 and the variance of 5. Okay, what is the standard deviation, please? Somebody, can you give me the answer? What is the standard deviation of 5? Up to 4 decimal places.
2.2361.
2.2361. Okay, I'm going to use that. So, in this situation now, we have less than 63. Okay, let's take a look at this. So, our table, we're going to use the same table as we did before. Okay, we're going to use the innovation that we use, the tab for y innovation, XZ graph P. So, XZ graph and then P. Okay, you can immediately draw the graph first. Nanti kau fikirkan. Okay, my X value is 63. Okay, convert it to the Z value, please. Z equals to 63 minus the mean is 60. Okay, over 2.2361. Give me up to 3 decimal places.
1.342.
Okay, 1.342. Okay, so what you're going to get is, you're going to place this 1.342 on the graph. Dia sebelah kanan ke sebelah kiri? Because it is positive, dia berada di sebelah kanan. So here, 1.342. But the question is, do you want to lorek the left side or do you want to lorek the right side? Since this one is less, what did we say just now? Less means lorek the left side. Lorek the left side sampai ke janah tau. Bukan kau setakat berhenti setakat garis, all the way. 1.342. Okay, so this is where it involves a little bit of this one. Take a look at the notes I gave you just now. Sekarang kita punya graph adalah mirip macam ni. Kan? Mirip macam ni. So we have to do an extrapolation. 1 minus the reading from the table. Okay, so what you do is, go to your table, take a look at 1.342. Okay, right, let's do this together. The Z value is, is 1.342. Okay, so let's look at 1.3 first. Okay, here is 1.3. Here is 4. And here is 2. Okay, let me make this darker for you. 1.342. Okay, so what you do is, you take the value that corresponds to this. 1.34 is this. Okay, and then the 2 value is this 3. And then perhatikan bahawa dia cakap dia adalah minus. So 0.00901 sorry, oh no, okay, 0.00901 ini kau tolak 3 di sini. Okay, bukan kamu tolak 3 dari, bukan 0.00901 minus 3 tau, bukan. Kamu tolak the last number, 3. Okay, so you will get 901 minus 3, you get 898. So it will be 0.00898. Okay, if you're not sure how to do the calculation, kau ambil je the nombor 901 minus 3. Yang lain kau kasih biar. Leave the decimals alone. 0.0901. Oh, sorry. Okay. 0.0901 minus 3 is still the same lah. 0.0898. Okay. So, from the table, from the table, 1.342 is 0.0898. Okay. But because our graph is shaded this way, we have to do an extra step. The probability is 1 minus 0.0898. Okay, which will give you 0.9102, which is a slightly different answer than the one given in your workbook. And because, as I said, the workbook, they emphasize on using the calculator, which is okay, table guys, okay. No matter how much you hate the table, I know that some of you, especially those yang ikut tuition kan, kau memang benci table tetap menunjukkan kepandaian manusia. Calculator ini yang menunjukkan kebengongan mereka. Gitu. Okay, so 0.9102. Okay, that is situation number 2. Okay, so the first situation is if you lorek this way, read directly. If your second situation is kalau kamu lorek macam ni, you have to do one extra step. Okay, now the third situation, there is another possible situation lah. Okay, the third situation is if you have, okay, let's say you have a graph like this, and I want you to do this, like this and like this. Chang macam ni. Okay. Now remember that the table always gives us the reading. Bacaan dalam table always gives us the reading daripada itu sampai ke jannah. Daripada ini sampai ke infinity. Okay, all the way until infinity. So if you want this section in the middle, okay, we have to think about this. What is my total probability? When you use decimals, you learn that the total probability is actually equals to 1. Okay, and if I take the reading from the table, I can minus the blue and I can minus the purple to get the red. So the red color part is equals to 1 minus the blue probability minus the purple probability. Okay, 1 minus the blue probability minus the purple probability. Now I'm going to use the same situation as this question just now. Okay, to show you this. I'm going to use the same situation as, you know what, I'm going to use this lah. This is better. Okay, this is an easier variance to work with. Okay, saya mau gunakan soalan ini, tetapi saya mau ubah sedikit dia punya soalan. Okay, 32 and 2.5. So, X is normally distributed, the mean is 32, the variance is 2.5. Okay, find the probability of 29X and 35. Macam ni. Okay, so you have an in-between situation already. And you find that over here, kita ada dua nilai X. Okay, tapi jangan kencang. We can still use the same probability. We can still use the same table to help us. Okay, so the same labels, X, Z, graph, and probability. Okay, but this is an in-between situation. Okay, in-between situation is, like I said lah, in-between situation kan dia punya lukisan adalah macam ni. Okay, like this. Sorry, ignore the purple and the blue, just the red color. Okay, so we want to have that kind of situation. Okay, so I have two values of X, 29 and 35. Okay, let's convert each one to Z value. Okay, kita convert each one to Z value. Let me Make this a lot. Okay, 35 over here. Okay, so this one Z equals to 29 minus 32 over 2.5. And this one will be Z equals to 35 minus 32 over 2.5. Okay, can somebody else please give me the answers for this, please? Kalau exam kena bagi table. Yes, of course kena bagi table. Because exam is for smart people. Negative 1.2 for the first one and 1.2 for the second one. Okay, yeah, should be correct lah. Okay, so now let's place both of these numbers into the graph. Graphnya hanya satu saja, tidak payah kau lukis dua. Okay, graphnya hanya satu saja, cuma satu adalah 1.2 dan satu adalah negative 1.2. So 1.2 over here and the other one will be negative 1.2. Now because this is an in-between situation, so tempat yang kita mau adalah inilah yang berlorek macam ni. And what is the step? The step is 1 minus the reading of the probability on the right side minus the reading of the probability on the left side. Okay? Now, let's take first. Kalau dia punya probability adalah 1.2, sorry, kalau dia punya Z adalah 1.2, berapa dia punya probability? Okay, we go back to the table. Hari ni sangat memenangkan, saya tukar-tukar sini sana, sini sana. It feels like saya rasa saya punya tab pun mau habis bateri sudah. Okay, 1.2. 1.2 means there's no other decimal place. Okay, 1.2 means kita baca terus daripada 1.2. Okay, which is 0.1151. Okay, 0.1151. Therefore, kalau probability, sorry, kalau Z-nya adalah 1.2, the probability is 0.1151. And likewise, if the probability is negative 1.2, the probability is also 0.1151. Jangan juga kamu letak negatif. Okay, for probability, there's no such thing as negative probability. Okay, so my actual probability, okay, this probability adalah 1 minus the purple one, which is 0.1151, minus the green one, 1151. How much is this? 0.7698. Okay, so I hope that that if you haven't realized by now, actually, when you understand the most important thing about a graph, okay, let me show you what this means. Okay, I'm going to draw the graph again now. So our graph, just now I said the purple color probability is over here. This is the purple, and then this is the green, and then this is the blue. Okay, this is the blue lah. Okay, now we find out that the blue one is 0.7698. The purple one is 0.1151, and the green one is 0.1151. We need to understand that, and as I said since last week I have been stressing this selalu orang lupa ini. Okay, we need to understand that the total area or the total probability under a standard normal distribution graph is always equal to 1. Bila kamu mengetahui fakta itu, then you can manipulate your way around. You can count anything under the graph. You don't even have to use integration to calculate the area under the graph. That's why the table is very important. Okay, the table gives you values to make your life easier. Okay, so that you don't have to use integration mau cari ini, mau cari itu. Okay, no need. We use the table to help us with that. And we have to understand that the total area under the graph is always 1. That's why in this situation, how do we count this probability is we cannot count it directly using the table. Because the table can only gives us value for probability that is less than 0.5. This one kan kau tengok dia punya area kan kau tahu sudah dia memang lebih daripada 0.5 because one of the characteristics of the normal distribution graph is this one is 0.5 probability. The other side is 0.5 probability. The mean divides the probability into 2 equal parts. 0.5 and 0.5. Table kita hanya terhad okay, kepada 0.5 maximum. Dia hanya boleh kira sebelah saja, sama ada sebelah kanan kah atau sebelah kiri. Okay, it cannot do both sides. Okay, why? Because it's a one page table lah. Kalau kamu mau buat both sides, pun boleh lah, tetapi astaga, sangat jauh. Okay, you can only do one side. So we have to take the extra step, okay, to count the one more side. Okay? Alright. This, okay, second half, sorry. Because we've been talking about using desmos. If you really want to verify your answer, okay, we can always do this lah. So just now kita pakai negative 1.2 and 1.2 bahkan. Okay, 1.2 over here. Let me delete this to 1.2. Okay, and you see that we will get the exact same answer. Okay, 0.7698, which was the answer given by Sean just now. Look at how they draw the graph. Okay, this side over here, okay, is between negative 1.2 to 1.2. This is the area. The area is 0.7698. So how much is this area and how much is this area? You can just minus 1 divide by 2. Or you can get from the probability just now lah. 1.2 over here is apa? 1.2 over here is a 0.11 something kah? Kan? Okay, hold on. Let me do this. Okay, 1.2 sampai infinity. Okay, now over here 0.1151, 0.1150. Okay, so this is 1.2 onwards. Okay, which the table tells us how lah. Okay, tetapi kalau kita mau buat kalau kita punya graph adalah berbentuk lain, okay, as I said before, either one of these three situations, okay, especially situation number 2 and situation number 3, we have to read the table a little bit differently. Okay, we have to do an extra step. Okay, only this situation. Kalau kamu lorek dan kamu dapat begini, then kamu baca terus. Okay, so we have to know. And how to know this is not by memorizing this, you know. We have to understand the ciri-ciri of a normal distribution graph. That's the most important thing. Understand the characteristics of the graph, and this chapter will be super easy. Okay, of course the table is also another problem. Okay, the second way we use this tab for y, okay, this one is if we do it the other way around. This one, people, you kind of have no choice lah. I don't see any indication here that you can use the calculator to do the terbalik method correctly. Okay, so you have to find the z-score from the table. So this is the situation. I give you the probability. Saya mula dari yang sini. I give you the probability. I ask you to work your way backwards by finding x. Okay, so this is a step. Write the value of the probability, sketch the standardized normal graph to determine the area, and then find the z-score. Baru kamu convert pergi x. Okay, let's do one example question. I want you to turn to your textbooks. Let's do a simple one first lah. Okay, turn to your textbooks, page 177. Okay, we're going to use that example over there. Okay, page 177 in your textbook. Okay, the question is, probability of Z lebih daripada A adalah 0.3851. Okay, so I've given you the probability. Saya sekarang mau cari this A value, which is the X value. Okay, this is the X score. Hold on. This is the Z score. Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry. I'm going to convert this question a little bit. X lah. Okay, X is more than A. Okay, let's start. So the table remains the same. Okay, the table doesn't change. It is always X di sini, Z di sini, graph, and then the probability. The only difference now with this question is the probability saya sudah bagi dengan kamu, which is 0.3851. Okay, let's think about this now, people. The probability is 0.3851 and we want a more situation. Okay, sebelah mana ni kita mau lorek? Probability is 0.3851 and we want more. Which side of the graph? Where should my line be? Okay, where should my line be? This is probably the most difficult part lah. Okay, of using this normal distribution. Saya mau tahu bah, saya punya nombor Z ini bahkan adakah dia di sebelah sini atau di sebelah sini? Okay, so let's experiment. If I put the line over here, that means since dia mau more bahkan, okay, dia mau more, it will look like this lah. Okay, this is option A. This is option B. If my garis is over here. Kalau dia mau more, sebab more, okay, soalan ni adalah more ini. Okay, tell me antara situation A, situation B, mana yang mencerminkan the probability of 0.3851? What is left, right? Oh, right, left. Okay, which one tells you, which lorekan shows you 0.3851? Is it the left? A or B? Okay, it's obviously A lah kan. Okay, so this will be this. That means my Z score is here. This one saya reject. Okay, so have this in mind. Z must be a positive value. It cannot be a negative value sebab negative value ini adalah salah. Now we go back to our table. Probability is 0.3851. Okay, this is the tough part. You kind of need to practice this for the next 2 days lah. Okay, nasib kita punya kelas seterusnya pada hari Rabu kan? Yeah, you need to practice this. Okay, as I said before, astaga. As I said before, in the center over here is all probabilities. Okay, so we want to start from the probability. What was the probability just now? 0.3851. Okay, so we look for it. Nah, carilah 0.3851. Okay, 0.34, 0.3821, belum lagi 0.3859, 0.3897. Okay, so just now we want what? 0.3851. And okay, 0.3851. So the nearest we have is this 0.3859. So we have to minus lah sebab kita ada minus di sini bahkan. How much do we have to minus from 3859 to get 3851? 3859, 3851, kita kena tolak 8. So tolak 8 means we need this. Okay, now let's combine everything together. 0.3859 is 0.292. Okay, so my Z is 0.292 because the probability is 0.3851. Okay, 0.292. So the question is it positive or negative? Tadi kamu sudah cakap it is positive. So positive 0.292. So can we find the X score from this Z score? Can. Okay. Z equals to X minus mu over sigma. My Z score is now positive 0.292 equals to X minus, what is my mean? My mean is, oh, they didn't give the mean. Sorry, they're supposed to give the mean. Oh, in this question they didn't. Okay, fine. But you can basically find the X value once I give you the mean and the standard deviation. Okay, but the most difficult step in this particular situation where you start from the probability dan kembali untuk mencari nilai X is determining whether the Z, okay, is a positive or a negative value. Okay, and so because of that, I have come up with a simple, I hope, okay, I have come up with a simple summary, okay, on how to know whether your Z value is positive or negative. Okay, so this is my suggestion lah. Okay, if you have other suggestions also, you can do this. There are two situations. Your probability is more than 0.5, okay, or your probability is less than 0.5. Okay, macam tadi, this one, our probability is less than 0.5. Okay, so there are two situations. Either your probability is more than 0.5 or your probability is less than 0.5. Okay, if the question, okay, kalau dia punya question is more, okay, then your Z is negative. Your Z will be a negative value. Okay, if the question dia bagi soalan is less, okay, then your Z will be positive. Okay, what I mean by question is this. Okay, tengok soalan. This is the question. Ini. P X more than A. Ini. Yang di dalam kurungan itu. If it is more, okay, and your probability is more than 0.5, then the Z value is negative. This is the last one that we want. Okay, if the probability is less than 0.5, okay, and the question dia bagi more, okay, then your Z will be positive. Okay, if the question gives you less, okay, then your Z will be negative. Z will be negative. Yes, sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, Z will be negative. One good way to remember this okay, one good way to remember this is kamu tengok the situation and kamu tengok the soalan. If the situation and the soalan is the exact same way, right, it's negative. The Z is negative. Situation and question the same direction, okay, then it's negative. Okay, your Z value is negative. I come back to the example I gave just now. Situation 0.3851. Okay, what you do is kamu bulatkan dan kau tengok, oh, the probability is less than 0.5 and the direction of the question is more, so Z is positive. Z positif kah? Z positif, betul. Okay, Z is positive. Without a shadow of a doubt, kau tahu sudah. Tidak payah fikir tu. Okay, you just have to analyze the statement given. Okay, let me give you another one. Probability of, let's say X is more than M, okay, is 0.5621. Okay, let's analyze. This one is probability more than 0.5. The question gives more, same direction. Okay, Z is negative. Tak payah fikir. Same direction means Z is negative. Okay, more than 0.5, question gives you more, Z is negative. Ini akan menjadikan kita punya pengiraan lebih senang tau. When Z is negative, then you know how to lorek. Okay, let me give you another one. Probability of X is more than P, okay, equals to, actually more saja kan. Let's do another one lah. Okay, less than P, okay, is 0.5874. Okay, analyze. Probability is more than 0.5. The direction is less. Opposite direction. Therefore, Z is positive. Okay, means bila kamu lukis kamu punya ini, okay, this is my Z. Z is positive. Astaga, Z is positive. What am I doing? Okay, Z is positive dan oleh sebab dia less bahkan. Less means kurang lah. Sini. Okay, let me spend the next 5 minutes drilling you on this. drill balik sampailah ke anu. Okay, probability of Z is less than, give me another letter, S lah, S for Sean. Okay, equals to 0.3421. Okay, analyze. Question, probability is less than 0.5. Question is less. So Z is negative or positive? Of course it's negative. Okay, so when you draw, my Z value is here, negative. Where do I shade? of course I shade according to the question lah, sini. Okay, once you know how to draw this, then after that the next steps are easier. Mau cari dia punya ini. Okay, mau cari dia punya value. Okay, another one, probability. Saya suka ni, kan Z more than, give me the letter, M for Mantani, okay, is equals to 0.212. Okay, analyze. Probability is less than 0.5. Question is more. Immediately you should be able to tell me, my Z is where? Positive or negative? Okay, Z is positive. Okay, Z is positive, and since this is more, I shade over here. Okay, so use this. Okay, I highly suggest you use this. Yang saya tulis entah ke mana ni. Okay, use this as a very important tip. Okay, because this makes this part the tip that I just now gave makes this part jumping from here to here so much more easier. Okay, asal dia sama arah, more or less, dia adalah Z negative. Kalau dia berlainan arah, if it is in opposite directions, okay, your analysis of the question okay, if you analyze the question, you get different directions, confirm Z is a positive place. You just have to make sure that you shade in the correct area. Okay, there are only there is only 2 more situations left that I need to talk to you about. Take a look at page 177 in your textbook. Okay, today I really want you to practice using the table a lot. Okay, but there are so many things that I want to cover. Macam saya rasa macam okay, you need to do a lot of self-study for this lah. Okay, question D probability of negative 0.1 less than Z less than A. Okay, this is Z already. Dia sudah tukar pergi Z lah. We're not talking about X now. Okay, and they give you this one is 0.3851. Okay, now in this kind of situation, it's a little bit more difficult lah. Okay, because you have 2 values of the Z. Okay, you have Z is negative 0.51, and we don't know whether, sometimes it can be like this, no, negative 0.1, and then here, negative 0. something. This could be A. Okay, this is 0.3851. Or it could be like this. Sorry, hold on. Astaga, so bodoh. Okay, it can be negative 0.1 and then over here. Okay, this is my unknown Z lah, A. Okay, it could be this. Either this or this can be 0.3851. Okay, it can be 0.3851. So what you will need to do is you will need to settle the 0.1 first. Okay, and then only you can find the A. Okay, take a look at the example. I would really suggest page 177. I'm not going to give you any homework today because I want you to analyze these 3 questions. Question D, question E, and question F. Okay, take a look at these 3 questions, okay, for these next 2 days. Okay, if you have understand everything that I have been saying since 12:30 okay, kalau kamu faham apa yang saya cakap sejak daripada 12:30, then you are in this category lah. I want you to analyze question D, E, and F in page 177. Soalan jenis begini agak jarang ditanya lah, tetapi pernah juga ditanya. Okay, and I think it's good for you to know that. Okay, if you are in the category of kamu dari 12:30 kan, like you are like kamu punya fahaman adalah samar-samar, okay, I suggest that you settle the most important thing first. Settle the issue of how to find the probability. Okay, settle the issue of how to find the probability by using the table. Okay, settle the problem of learning the probability first. Okay, how to find probability. Once kamu yakin, okay, if you know how to use these 3 methods, then talk about finding the Z-score yang terbalik. Okay, daripada probability, go to the Z-score. I will give you this one, this step 4Y innovation. Okay, I will give you this page. Okay, I will give you a PDF version of this page so that you can use it to help you to understand lah. Okay, see if you can understand from it. Okay, so I'll give it to you as a reference. If you already know both how to find the probability and how to find the x value from the probability, then I would suggest that you take a look at the 3 questions that I said just now. Mana sudah ini soalan ni nah. Okay, page 177, question D, E, and F. Okay, that is probably the, yeah. Okay, so play around with this. Look for questions now. Okay, if you really want questions now, okay, if you really want to try a few questions, I suggest that you do page 179. Okay, question number 2, number 3, number 4 as a starter. Okay, tapi ini bukan homework ah. Okay, this is not homework. This is all just practice on how to find probability, how to find X score, how to find probability, how to find X score.